What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now, as you can probably tell by the title, in this video, I'm going to be bringing you one of the most crazy entitled parent stories I've genuinely ever read. But before we get into it, firstly, I need you all to do 3 very important things. Number 1 is go and subscribe to Redditor Plays. That's right, it's back. I'm playing games again, uploading them on YouTube and having an amazing time. I've already uploaded one video over there on Fall Guys. It's a great game. A lot of work went into that video, and yeah, I think you'll agree if you go and watch it, it's highly enjoyable. Number 2 is go and check out my brand new merch if you haven't done already. Right now it's 20% off, and I promise you it is the best quality YouTuber merch that you can get right now on the internet. It is top notch. It's a great price anyway, and if you use code SUMMEREND, you will get a 20% discount. I mean, how good is that? And thirdly, if you are not already, please make sure you are subscribed to this channel. It genuinely saddens me to say this, but guys, over half of you watching right now are not subscribed to my channel. You have to take a look at yourself in the mirror at some point and think to yourself, what am I doing here? It's completely free. You get new content every day, and you know, you might as well love it. And you can always unsubscribe later if you want to, but you know, also don't do that. Anyway, with all that out of the way, make sure you are subscribed, notifications on, and let's get into this mental story. My parents keep breaking my PS4s that I pay for and continue to threaten to break every new one. Okay, so I've been trying to find the right place to talk about this, since I've not really got anywhere else to talk about it. I'm gonna start on the first PS4. For a while now, my parents have been pretty big fans of breaking our stuff or disciplining us if we misbehaved. But as time went on, their disciplining didn't really affect me because I was used to it. Since I would show no reaction like they wanted me to, they would result in taking or breaking my belongings. They would always use the same saying: "There isn't democracy in this household, it's a dictatorship, and you do what we tell you to when we tell you." Wow. So many times I've wanted to say, every single country that tried a dictatorship has failed. But you know, I'm just trying to get the whole situation over with and not be called a D-head by my dad, lol. I can't remember the reason why the first PS4 was broken, but I can remember the last 2, and I will say how and why they did it. The second PS4 I bought was a new one, just like the last one, with a whole terabyte. It lasted for a while. Fast forward a couple months later, my brother and I get in an argument completely not regarding of the PS4. My mum gets mad and says, "Since you guys want to always argue, I'm throwing this PS4 away." We were obviously still mad at each other, but then I noticed what she said and went on to ask, why is she throwing out the PS4 I paid for? She went on to say, "This is my house and you will do what I say, and this PS4 is a demon." So she legitimately continues to throw my PS4 about 5 feet off the ground onto the grass. I was just in disbelief that she just broke my PS4 over something that had nothing to do with it. Now, on to the next PS4. At this point, I'd obviously lost trust in my family, so I bought a used PS4 with 500 gig. It cost me $180. I'm pretty sure I was robbed, lol. The first thing she says when I get the PS4 inside the house is, "I can break this one just like the others." I was annoyed, and I just responded, "I'll just break your TV then," and she laughed it off. Obviously, I wasn't going to break the TV, because I don't like getting my butt beat by my dad, lol. Fast forward a couple of months, and I get into an argument with her because I said, "I'll do it right after this match." And for some reason, she decided to unplug my PS4, grab a bat, and in front of the neighbors breaks my PS4. She believes I'm emotionally attached to the PS4 and it's a demon, but I'm not attached to it at all. I'm just annoyed that my money has been wasted again. All I said was, if you're gonna make me watch, at least do it inside without the neighbors watching, I said after it all. She again discusses how, "You do what I say when I say, you should be thankful for all this," and whatnot. At this point, my payback was simple: just stop communicating. I started becoming a lot quieter and not telling them about what I'm thinking and stuff like that, just overall being the quiet kid. I rebought another PS4 cheap, and I kid you not, I got the "I'll break that one also" BS. Luckily, I still have this PS4, and I've been not using it at all with her inside the house, clearly showing that I don't trust her at all. She realized this and said, "Why aren't you playing?" And I happily responded, "Because you might break it." I didn't look at her face because I was on my phone, but all I heard was her leave my room, which actually felt great to finally let them know I don't trust them at all with my belongings. If my new PS4 is broken, I'll make sure to update this forum. But as for now, I'm grounded from using my PS4, which is new. Now, after having this post up and replying to many comments, I've finally come to my senses, and I'm truly sad about how I really feel, and I've been hiding my feelings to myself. Thank you everyone for helping me realize what's wrong with this. Yeah, honestly man, this is one of the most troubling stories I think I've read in a long time on this subreddit. I mean, even from that initial quote where your dad says that this is a dictatorship, this household, I was really worried right then, and then as the story progressed and progressed, and the reasons for, you know, destroying your PlayStations got worse and worse, I feel for you, man. The most sad part about this story for me, for sure, is not your parents being horrible people, because obviously that is terrible. But it's the way that it's affected you. It's made you go inside your own shell. You said yourself, you're not open with your parents anymore. You become more of a quiet person. And that not only is just a bad thing, it's also potentially a dangerous thing. You know, if you were a loud person before and you spoke about what you thought about, that sort of stuff, even with your friends, you know, outside the house, and now you keep it all bottled up inside. In terms of mental health, I mean, that's not a good thing. I feel like this is just a terrible, terrible story, isn't it, really? Guys, leave your comments down below. Leave your advice down below for this guy. What do you think he should do in this situation? Because it sounds like he's still quite young. He's having to, you know, pander to his parents' thoughts and do exactly as they say, or else he'll have his PS4 battered again. So what can he do in this situation? How can he make his life better? Let me know down below, because honestly, I'm not completely sure in this situation. Now moving on to our next story. Mum begs for money despite buying new house and car. Okay, so I guess this is a great place to let this ridiculousness fly. What a perfect sentence, by the way, to start with. A little backstory. My mum, who is on SSDI, top tier almost 2.8k a month, has a very hard time budgeting. Last year, she decided to sell my grandparents' house on Oregon to move back to Seattle area. She got the house by having my grandma with dementia change the will and cut out her two siblings, my uncle and aunt. And after my grandma passed, the house and all the savings and belongings went to my mum. So she sells the house, and instead of buying a reasonable home, she has limited mobility and a bad prescription drug addiction and falls often, she buys herself and her 3 cats a 4,000 square foot home in a gated community. There was literally no money left over after the sale/acquisition of the new home. I had to help by paying for a moving van and helpers. Before this, she had a settlement from a slip/fall lawsuit of roughly 50k, which she instantly rolls into a brand new 2018 Toyota Highlander. She had been left my grandma's 2009 Aspen SUV, but the gas mileage was not good enough. Then she backs into a tree and busts the taillight on her new car a few months after buying it. She goes to the dealership to fix her taillights and decides she needs a brand new 2019 fully loaded Highlander with a tow package. Now she has nothing to tow, so this is a mystery. She trades in her 2018 with 5k miles on it and takes out a 35k car loan. And this is on a fixed income, and she always has money struggles. So here is like roughly $80,000 of car at this point. Oh, excellent. She is constantly begging my brother, sister, and I for money. We are 38, my brother, 36, me, 27-year-old sis, and all trying to establish ourselves in our lives. And we're all trying to establish ourselves in our lives, careers, and financial security. I am a stay-at-home mum with 2 young kids. We live off my husband's income as an apprentice tradesman and have to be very frugal. We qualify to live in low-income housing, and I find ways to be resourceful, like donating our time and vehicles to help a local food bank so we are able to get some food as well as help the community. We don't own a home or brand new fancy cars, and if you take away rent and do the math for just us 2 adults, we live on less than her monthly SSDI. Yet every month she has a sad story about how she can't afford X or Y. She finally cancelled her $175 a month TV plan. I've asked her more times than I can count to please not bring up money matters with me. I've offered to help her budget, but she refuses to help. She only wants the cash. Well, she brought up money the other day when she came up to our apartment to visit the grandkids, but really she came up to pilfer the food bank transportation we do every Sunday before we drop at the food bank. Wow. She was saying that she doesn't have enough money to pick up her prescriptions. This is just after she told me she gets her prescriptions in the mail. I believe she has drug-induced dementia from the 15 years on benzos and opiates. I told her I could spare $15 for gas money, but that was all. I explained we are a family of 4 living on 1 income and we have a tight budget. I remind her she has had plenty of opportunities to save or spend her money more wisely. So she takes the $15 and goes. I get a call the next day from her crying, saying that the way I brought up her poor money choices was terribly upsetting. She was pretty much making me out to be the villain and her the victim. This self-victimizing routine is her go-to. It's exhausting because I've done so much for her. I've put my life on hold for 5 years after college to be her full-time caretaker. She fell and needed a hip replacement and got hooked on opiates. I couldn't hold down a job or any healthy relationships because I was constantly being called back home to get this or that for her, take her to doctor appointments, etc. I could literally write a novel in all the ways I've helped her. I feel like this post is a novella. Anyways, screw her for trying to make me out to be the bad guy because I didn't give her money to get extra prescriptions to fuel her addiction. Screw her for even putting it out there and begging my family for money when she has so much. And lastly, screw her for never respecting my boundaries, which I need to preserve my well-being. After her sob story phone call, I was upset, and it took me a few hours to get my head on straight. I wasn't a good mum to my kids at that time. So, to be a better mum to my kids, I'm putting old mum in timeout. I need a break from her entitled self. End rant. Thank you and good night. Honestly, I feel like that's how I should end my vids. Thank you and good night. That'd be awesome. Yeah, similar with the first story really. If your entitled parent is ruining your own relationship with your mates or with yourself and it's affecting, in this situation, you and your kids, then you gotta just get rid of them, man. Get them out of your life if you can. I mean, clearly this person does not know how to, use money wisely. They're spending $80,000 to achieve one car, really, aren't they? I mean, that is just ridiculous. Unless you have loads of money, then fair enough, spend whatever you want, but you don't. I mean, 2.9k a month, it's more than a lot of people have, but it's less than a lot of people have as well. You've got a budget still with that sort of money. I just think that it's pretty horrible when you know that your daughter and her family are not in the best financial situation anyway. You know that, there's only one income earner in that family, yet still you're going after them to get a little bit of money off them for some, drug addiction or whatever, when you know that you yourself are earning more money than them. It's just what a horrible thing to do. It's so toxic, and it's just, I don't know, a good parent would never do that, clearly. Surely like a good parent would want to provide for their kids, not take from their kids, even if they are older. That's just a horrible thing to have done. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Entitled Parents. Remember those 3 things that I told you to do in the introduction. Firstly, go and watch the gaming video. It's on screen right now. You're going to love it. Secondly, go and buy some merch or just check it out. Use 20% code, by the way, Summer End. It's on screen as well right now. And thirdly, make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you never miss out on a daily video. With that all being said, guys, thank you and good night.